Yo, what is up guys? Today I have a brand new video about supply and demand zones. So first of all, let's get to explaining what is a supply or a demand zone. Essentially, a supply or a demand zone is a zone where market makers move, like where market makers have interest in buying or selling. How can we identify a supply zone? Let's go real quick to this side of the chart. So first of all, a supply or demand zone, a valid one, I'm talking about a valid one. So a non-valid one would be this one. And if you ask me why is this not a valid zone, is because a supply zone which is bearish should always break a low, which in this case, let's say for example, let's go let me get a bit of good structure real quick. So let me take this for an example. This would be a good zone for me because if you ask me why, then first of all, this breaks this low, so this means there's good volume, and you can see it by the following candles that there's good volume, meaning that the market makers are stepping into sells. Same with this one. If you look at this, you can actually see a good reaction of it, which caused a new supply chain because it also breaks this low, but this supply chain breaks this low, my apologies. So this is how you identify the supply zones, which is an area where, well, it's actually where a big candle happens. So like this one, a big red candle before the move, and you want the top one because if you look at the lower time frame, it would be better to see. As for example, you see this a big fat sell-off. This is actually a supply zone, and it breaks this low. And if you ask me why, because this is a target that's probably previously been, as you can see, this has been previously been done. And what a supply zone is actually where market makers are pushing price to accumulate positions at a better entry. So let's say for example, market maker has entered here a buy, but he wants to sell, let's say for example he wants to sell, but he doesn't want to sell here because it's a bad entry. So what does market maker do? He buys, he moves price up, takes these highs out, so it takes liquidity first of all. Then what he does is he closes his position, which when you close a long you automatically sell, which means there's selling pressure. And then he even goes on to a sell, which means there's more pressure. And of course this is not done with 5-6 figures, this is done with millions, even billions in the foreign exchange market. Let's say for example for Bitcoin it could be done with millions, yes, a few hundred millions, or maybe even 50 million, but not 1 million. But then for instance forex is way bigger, it would be done with billions at least, because you can't just move the market with $1 million. You will just literally, like, maybe not even move the pip, because the banks are way bigger than you expect them to be. So that is the whole reason of a supply, and this is also why you see these tap in wicks into the supply or demand zones. A demand zone is a bullish one, a supply zone is a bearish one. It's the same as an order block or a point of interest, whatever you want to call it. But now let's see how we can use them. First of all, a supply zone, you should always refine a 4-hour on the 50-minute, and then what is it called, a 50-minute zone on the 3-minute. But the best zones are always on the 4-hour, because that just shows a higher time frame as well. So this would be my zone, because why? This is the first candle that made the big move up, right? You see a break of this high, you always want to get the first candle. So this one as well, which breaks this high, and then even this one could be possibly be one, but it doesn't break this high. So a zone must break a high to be valid. This is not valid to me because as you see, price comes back and takes you out if you go long there. See, so you want a high to be broken. So let's say we have this zone, price taps back into this zone, as you see, perfectly taps back in. So what you do is you mark out this zone in the 15-minute chart. So this is how you would take an entry, right? So a 4-hour zone, a 15-minute entry. Then you mark out the 15-minute, you refine it on the 3-minute. Let me show you for example. You take this zone, right? Do it like this. This is your 15-minute zone, or even this one. And then you have a tapping in the 1-minute. Then what you do is you go to your 1-minute zone. And then what you see here is actually a perfect, like a perfect show off of a chalk flip actually. because what happens is you have a chalk to the downside and then you have a chalk to the upside, right? Because this is a chalk. Well, essentially this is a bit of an aggressive entry because the chalk should have been this one, but actually what happens here is you have a chalk to the upside from here and then price comes back to tap you in. So if you are a patient trader, then you would have been in, and that's a 1 to 6 trade with pure based on confirmations with the demand and supply zone. Now let me show you another example. Let me remove all drawings and let me show you. Let's move price a bit further, right? What does this zone do? It breaks this high and it even breaks that high. So price is gonna come back to the zone. I already know. So let me refine on the 3-minute chart. As you can see, I'm refining it like this because I want the best possible entry. And now what I do is I just wait for price to come back. Yes, it can take ages, but that's why you have multiple zones, right? So let me move a bit faster. So price is just going up and down, which it usually normally does. That's normal in price, but price will come back either to this zone. I'll even mark out this zone for you guys and refine it on the 3-minute, and then I'll show you an entry which you can get based off supply and demand zones. Because yes, supply and demand zones alone are profitable. You could just trade short base of this, but I'm a trader who trades based off confirmation, so I don't purely trade of it. So I have these zones, and inside these zones I have my confirmation, which I'll show now in a minute. Let me just get a tap on either side. So we did not get a tap. This inducement to fake traders who have a bad zone. You will see price is gonna come back. So you could have gotten a good short out of here, but that doesn't matter. We want the perfect entry. We only want A plus setup. So what does price do? It comes back in here. It could take the high. This is very, very normal. But what does price do? First of all, you have a chalk flip right here, and then price tends to come back. In fact, it did come back. It did not come back. So what you do is you have a break of structure. So you could look for an entry right here, which you want a tap in, and then you want another what is it called, then you want another confirmation. But for this one we already got confirmation, so we'll just play this out and see how it goes. Let's see. For the first entry we of course want a confirmation. See, now you have another break of structure, so you could look for this one because this is still a valid supply zone. So you know, wait for price to come back. You wait for it. Price is slowly coming back. Don't worry, price will come back. And if it doesn't, then you rather have price leave you than forcing a trade. Like for example, you said, oh my god, price left me, and then boom, it hits your stop loss. So you wait. Always be patient. The market will reward you for being patient. Trust me. I've had a lot of FOMO in my trading career, but it's not worth it. Trust me. So now you just keep on getting your zones. Just keep on getting your zones, but you want confirmation with your zone. Okay? You don't want to be blindly entering. Yes, this could be profitable, but it won't be in the long run. Trust me, it won't be. But yeah, this is just a waiting game. You're just waiting. That's all. You're waiting. Because eventually price will either come back or price will just form new things. So what did price do? Price did not hit us yet. Well, essentially we could have had a better refinement. If you look at this, we could have done it like this, and then have this whole candle. Then you see price taps perfectly, and then yes, you could have hit a 1 to whatever. And then you see what does price do? We break structure. We have another supply chain. Could have taken this one, and then see price perfectly taps into it again. And let's see, you break the structure again. Well, it's not really a good structure break because trend is slowly shifting bullish on the 1 minute. See, price comes in. You want a reaction on the 1 minute. You want a reaction. You don't want to be blindly entering limit. But let's say, for example, shut up. What do we have here? We have a chalk flip right here inside our 1 minute zone. So I would look for an entry right here. So you could be like this. And yes, this doesn't work all the time, but that's the whole point of trading. Trading doesn't work all the time. But you want to hide your profitabilities with each confirmation. But let's see. So what does price do? Price liquidity sweeps that low, comes back. See, price taps us in, and then price starts running. As you see, it would have probably been break even. For this video, I will not go to break even, just to show you, but this is a free trade, free ride. Okay, you're stopped out, but you would be in a free ride. And if you take 2 or 3 take profits, for example, let's say this is your TP1, then boom, that's 3R, that's 1.5R on a 50% sweep. And maybe you take profits here as well. Let's say your second TP is here, this is what, 4.5R, so you would have made an additional 1R, so you would have made 2.5R on only TPs, as you can see from this trade. So this strategy is really OP, and I will show you a trade I took, which I did already show you, but this strategy is really OP if you know how to get your zones. Because for example, let's say this high got broken, you should not trade on the 1 minute, you should look for higher time frame. But as you can see, price respects our zone. Once again, price will always respect our zone, always. So what does price do? Price, well, this is something crazy, but yeah, price breaks this low, and this caused the low to break. This didn't cause it, this caused it. So I'm looking for a retrace if it ever comes, because price is probably ripping now. But then what you can do is look for a 4-hour demand zone, which we got here. We will refine on the 15-minute because trend is bullish. You want to be always go with the trend. You don't want to go out, you don't want to go against trend. You want to go with the trend. So we have a tap in into our supply. So you go on the 1 minute. What you do is you have a chalk flip right here. So what you do is you have this area. So what you could either do is either wait for price to come back and limit order this, which is more riskier, but I will show you for this video, or you will either wait for price to come back and then look for another confirmation, which is better. But I'm just going to show you for the purpose of this video. So what does price do? You see, you still have a supply zone here. You still have a supply zone here, right? Because it's caused a low to break. What do we see? We see a reaction of the supply zone. We see a break of structure. Then we have this zone once again. Price runs over it, which is normal. It sweeps liquidity. We have a chalk flip now on the 1 minute. Then we have a new zone. Price comes back, taps into that zone, runs over that zone, and then comes back, chalk flip. Which, as you can see, if you would have traded with no confirmation and no zone, the chalk flip doesn't work. So you need it inside a zone. You need it inside your confirmation zone, which is your demand or supply zone, whatever your bias is. But we want price to move a bit faster because this has been hella slow. Essentially, price came quite close, didn't quite get us yet. I would have probably by this time canceled my limit, but because it's already been over 2 sessions, so that is a bit too much for me. Maybe 1 session could do the work, but 2 sessions is too much. But I just want to see you how it respects price. Well, it already hits TP, so if it hits your TP, then there's not really a point entering. But I just want price to come back to just kind of show you, which in fact I don't think it ever really will. Probably will, but not for a while. But as you can see how crazy this is. It has been what, Wednesday 29th of June, and we had this limit at what? So it took 6 days to hit this limit. And then what happens is, yeah, we would have been at break even by now. You would be out at break even with essentially like a 1 to 5 in profits. So you see price respects always. It doesn't matter what time. Of course, if it's after, let's say for example, price taps into your zone, you have a chalk flip, and then you could have probably taken an entry by this. Why I would probably take this zone. This zone is not really valid because I have consolidation. I want a straight move up, which this gives. So this would be your confirmation, and then you would have probably enter here stop loss below this low or this low, and then TP, yeah, you would have been changed TP, because the TP from the earlier one would not be valid. But as you see, price perfectly respects whatever you want it's to respect. If you have the correct zones, always have the correct zones as explained in this video, and refine your zones. So again, a 4-hour zone should be refined on the 4-minute, and the 4-minute zone should be refined on the at the 15-minute, I mean. See, okay, look bro, look, price comes back once again. Price always comes back. That's how trading is. Price comes back to this zone now. So as you can see, 4 hours should be refined on the 15-minute, and then the 15-minute should be refined on the 3-minute. Okay guys, I hope you guys understood whatever I told in this video, because it is good knowledge, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video from the most of you, for the most of the part you could. I hope everything was accurate, and well, the delivery was good. And let's just get a last showcase for you guys to show that price will come to whatever you want it to come. We're waiting for this zone, and price will come into this zone. As I said, price did come to my zone. What did price do? It reacted really nice of this zone. And then what does price do? It's gonna look for confirmation. So first of all, we have this zone where I wouldn't blindly enter. First of all, I want a chalk flip. So what do you have? You have a chalk, you have the flip, not yet. Well, the flip didn't come, so see, no confirmation, no entry, but it just shows that price is still in your zone, so there's no point. So what do we see here? We want this low to be broken to be looking for potential sales. If this low is not broken, then I'm not looking for sales. Okay, you guys understand? And this is not a break of the low. This is just a liquidity sweep, or this is just a tap in demand. Look, you gotta be patient here. You gotta be real patient. Look, so this is a break of the low. So you see, let's figure out, this is a chalk, this is a flip. So what you want is you want tap into this zone. You would wait for confirmation inside this zone, but you can also just short base of this zone. And then we'll place the order. Price could go without you, but that doesn't matter because you're not missing out. You're never missing out, because worst case you're missing on zero, but best case you make profits, so you never lose if price doesn't tap you. Yes, you miss out on profits, but it's better than hitting your stop loss by having a FOMO entry. But price already hits my TP, so I would not look to enter that, but I'll just show you that price will forever respect you. As you can see, price did come back to this zone, as I told you, and reacted from it. That's just the beauty of trading, as you guys can see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, comment down what you want for the next video. I'll see you guys in the next one.